What's going on, legends? This is going to be the most stupid easy guide on how to use Lovable and then move your projects from Lovable into Cursor. I'm going to give you everything that you need to know step by step so you don't have to watch any more 30-minute videos. You can see all of our steps right here. This is something that you will always follow. So if you want to just screenshot this page, go for it. This is going to be really valuable for you just to keep something like this handy. Let's get started with our first thing, which is going to be create a basic project in Lovable. We're going to do this live so you guys can see everything step by step. For this app, for the sake of the tutorial, we're just going to make a Pomodoro app. So I'm going to ask it, create a beautiful Pomodoro timer web app. Cool. Let's just do that. Create a beautiful Pomodoro. Wow, really? We have a network error, but it doesn't appear that there actually was a network error. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. So basically the flow of how I've been personally building my web apps is using Lovable to build the most basic features first and then go to Cursor to really like dial things in, such as like style or functionality. Cursor is going to be way, way better at doing that stuff than Lovable is. Cool. So it looks like it is completed, and in just a moment we should see the preview pop up over here on the right hand side. And the really cool thing is because we gave it such an open-ended prompt in the beginning, all we said was create a beautiful Pomodoro timer web app. It kind of had the freedom to do whatever it wanted to do. So unless you prompt something very specific, then it will get very creative and just kind of do whatever it thinks that you kind of want. It looks like it added this task right here. So we'll do make new video. Cool. Doesn't look exactly the best right now, but you kind of get the idea. So we now have a Pomodoro timer right here. This is kind of cool. Short break, please stop the timer before changes are made. This is interesting. Okay, so now you guys get the idea, right? So now we have our basic app right over here, and now we want to connect this into Cursor. So the first thing you're gonna do is go ahead and make sure that you have a GitHub account. Okay, so GitHub, go to github.com, make sure that you sign up and make a free account. You don't have to pay anything for this, this is completely free. But what we're gonna do is go ahead and connect Lovable to GitHub. So once you have that account ready, you're gonna go up here to the top right and go into GitHub. And now it'll ask you to log in. I'm already logged in as myself right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create in my account. I'm gonna select that right there, and let's give that a second, and that's it. Cool. So the project is now connected to my account. And if we go back to my repositories here, we can go ahead and refresh this page and make sure that it got added. And boom, there we go. So timer-blossom has been added. And now if you guys have never used GitHub or have never heard of what this thing is, you don't need to know how any of this works. Just trust me, follow along, we're gonna get through this. So we can now see that this has been added, and now go ahead and make sure that you have Cursor installed on your computer. If you don't, install this. And now we can go ahead and move on over into Cursor. So if it's your first time opening Cursor, you'll see something like this. And now what we want to do to make sure that we can import our project is go to clone repo. From here, it's going to say clone from GitHub. That's what we want to do. So we're just going to hit that. And then it will ask you to log into your GitHub account. Once you have logged in, it should then bring up all of your different repositories right here. So we can see our timer blossom repository is here. So we're just going to open that. And now we need to set a local. So now we need to set a local folder on where these files are going to be stored. So make sure that when you do this, you do not put it into some like Dropbox or a Google Drive or anything like that. We want these files to be locally on the computer, okay? So the way that I do it is I put in my documents right here on Mac. You can see I have this folder, Cursor repos. These are my two projects that I've been working on. So we're just going to make a new folder, and I'm just going to call this timer blossom. Okay, so we'll create that, and I'm going to hit select as repository destination. We'll see it clone, and we can go ahead and open that, and we're good to go. So let's go back to our Notion really quickly. So far, we've created a basic project in Lovable. We've connected Lovable to GitHub. We have loaded our Lovable project in Cursor and cloned the repo. So now we need to terminal npm I to install necessary packages for our project, and then we're going to go ahead and load a live preview so you can see what's going on. So let's go back over here to Cursor. Now, to start off, Cursor may appear to be a very intimidating platform, which at first it can be, but it is not, I promise. Just follow along with me, you're gonna be fine. Go up here to the top, and we need to open a new terminal. This is where the scary stuff starts, okay? This is all you need to do. You're gonna hit npm I, and then hit enter. And what this is gonna do is install necessary packages for your project. What it means, doesn't matter. You just need to do it. npm I, you can see that we've installed 73 packages. Don't worry about any of this stuff. If this is your first time opening Cursor and doing an npm I, what may happen is that you might have a couple errors in there. If you have errors that pop up, what you're gonna do is you're gonna copy those errors. Obviously we don't have any here, but if you do have them, copy them. And then you're gonna go up here to the top right in the chat, and you're gonna paste them. And you'll see it will say something like this, lines 3 through 13. And then just ask it, just like you would Lovable. Hey, I have these errors when I try an npm install. Can you check I have all necessary packages installed? It will do everything for you, and you can just work through that and it will install them. You'll be good. So I'm gonna delete that real quick. So we have now installed all of the necessary packages, and now we're gonna do an npm run dev so that we can start our local preview of our project. So now we can go here and hit npm run lovable.dev. Hit enter, cool. And now we can see local, HTTPS localhost 8080. So for now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna copy this link, and then up here in this top window, you're gonna click and you're gonna hit Command-Shift-P, and this should come up. And then you're gonna hit, I have it already loaded here, simple browser, but you can just search it, simple browser show, and then paste in this localhost URL right here, paste that in there, and hit enter. And now we should see our actual project showing. So this is really cool right here. So now we can view our project in this main window. We have our terminal ready to go. We have everything set up. And now your project is quite literally done and ready to be worked on. So let's go back over here and make sure we've done everything we needed. So now we've npm run dev. We start our project view, Command-Shift-P, simple browser, paste localhost URL, done. And now we can go over coding with agent versus ask. Cool, so now how do we modify our code, or how do we work on this project? So over here in the top right, of course, you're gonna see our chat window. This works exactly like Bolt, Lovable, Replit, any of those things. It works the exact same. So right here, I could tell it something like, create a dark theme and add a theme switch toggle. Cool, something like that. And we're gonna use the agent mode. If we were gonna use the ask mode, this is the same thing as chat inside of Lovable, where it's not gonna use as many tokens and it's not going to modify the code. If we use agent mode, then it is gonna modify our code and it will do everything for us. So let's go ahead and do this really quickly. I just noticed down here, it seems like it kind of stopped itself. Usually it'll say generating right here when you know that it's still working, but it looks like that's disappeared and it says now I'll, and then it starts with 1, which it didn't finish that. We're gonna fix this real quick. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ask it, did you complete the dark mode changes? So I'm just gonna ping it that, just say, hey, did you complete that? And of course it says right here, no, I didn't complete it. So let's go ahead and try and restart that again and get it to finish our dark mode changes. Cool, so it looks like it's done here, and now it'll give us a full explanation of everything that it just did. And let's go test our new dark theme here. We can see it's added this little light mode and dark theme toggle. Oh, that's interesting. So we now have a dark theme. There you go. You can always go back and tweak this more and more. So agent, it will go and do everything for you. Ask, you can ask it and it won't modify your code yet. So until you tell it in agent mode to modify your code, it will not. Cool, so one thing I also want to show you guys that's really good in Cursor is being able to restore checkpoint. So if you did something and then everything broke, or you have major issues happening and you want to restore your changes, then you can just hit this right here, restore checkpoint, and everything will roll back to that checkpoint. Another version of this, and this is the next thing that we need to do, we're gonna go up here to the top left, and you're gonna see this little circles and like diagram looking toggle right there. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. So this is called our source control panel. Basically what this is showing all of the different changes that we've made during our project time right now. All these changes are things that we've just done by implementing this dark mode. Depending on what you do, you'll see all of your changes right here. Now, if there's something very specific that you don't like or you wanna revert the changes on, you can do that right here and discard the changes. Now make sure that you understand what was changed, because if you discard changes on one thing and then we push these updates, then you could have issues. Make sure you're careful with this, but mainly just use this restore checkpoint button right here to restore back to previous versions of your code. We've worked on our app in here in Cursor, and now we're happy with it, and we want to push these updates back to our GitHub, because right now the only changes that we've done are on the local files on our computer. Remember the folder we made earlier in our documents? Those code files are the ones that had been changed, not our actual live code files. So now we're happy with this, and we do want to push these updates to our live code. First thing you're gonna do, and this is extremely important, you're gonna go up here and you're gonna generate a commit message. Click on this and let it generate a commit message. Now the commit message is basically just a summary of the changes that you've made during your progress here. You can see here, add dark mode support with theme context and styling, perfect. And now we're going to commit this change. There are no stage changes to commit. Yes, we're gonna go ahead and push that. And now if you take a look right here, you're gonna see how there's this purple icon and a blue icon. Basically what these are is saying that, hey, the main GitHub, your main code, is not up to date with the local code right here. What we want is for the purple and the blue to be next to each other, not stacked on top of each other. This means that they are not synced, so our live version is not what we're seeing right here. It's very different. So to fix that, we're gonna go ahead and hit sync changes right here on the top, and this is going to actually push our code to GitHub and sync them. And now you can see that our main and our local are synced up. Cool. So once you do that and you have your blue and purple icons that are next to each other, that means everything is synced and you're good to go. So that is it. I am definitely going to be making a lot more videos on how to use Cursor and how to use Lovable together to build some really, really cool web apps and software. Stick around, subscribe, and I hope that you guys found this helpful, and I will see you in the next video.